Well, welcome back into Pullman, Washington this afternoon. We've got Game 3 of this series between Washington State and Fresno State. So glad to be with you here on Pac-12 Plus. Trevor Williams and the rest of our crew with you from Bailey Brayton Field in a mid-50-degree afternoon. Some overcast skies up overhead. And the finale of this series. Fresno State took the first two games of the set. They're going to leave the batting order unchanged from a night ago. And why not if you're the Bulldogs? 12 runs, 17 hits, 7 for 14 with runners in scoring position. This lineup from a night ago. It's been the same throughout this series. The only difference was Bobby Blandford swapped with Rocco Pepe a day ago in the DH spot and left field. Out on the mound for Washington State this afternoon is right-hander Duke Brotherton. Brotherton making his fourth start for the Cougars this season, his first since April the 14th against California here at home. You see his numbers on the season, the 4-5 record, 48 2/3 innings, an ERA of 4.5, 33 strikeouts to 17 walks. Brotherton did pitch in relief on Friday night. He was the losing pitcher in the comeback in the ninth inning for Fresno State. An inning of work on Friday, 2 hits, 2 runs, one of which was earned, and 6 batters that he faced on a total of 19 pitches on Friday. So maybe a little toned down in terms of innings, but he will be the starter on this Sunday for Washington State. Cougars have a lot available out in their bullpen, including Caden Wickersham, Spencer Jones, Andrew Bond, and Ryan Orr, who have yet to pitch here in this series. Defensively for Washington State, behind Duke Brotherton, the Cougars line up like this: Kason Taggart in left, Nate Swartz in center, Max Hartman in right, Cole Kramer, Kyle Russell, Crew Park, Joey Kramer left to right around the infield, and Jacob Morrow doing the catching for Duke Brotherton on this Sunday afternoon. Leadoff man for Fresno State, Eddie Saldivar, has had a fantastic series. 4-game hitting streak. All 4 games have been multi-hit games for Saldivar, and he's 9 of his last 18, as hot as they come at the plate for the Bulldogs. This has been the first trip for Fresno State to Pullman in program history. The teams will meet next year as Mountain West Conference foes in baseball. First pitch up and in. Saldivar takes a swing at the second. In right center field, Max Hartman with the wind blowing it out to the warning track, making the catch, re-steadying against the wall. And the fly out for out number 1. There is a steady breeze blowing out to right field. Winds near 20 miles an hour here on the Palouse today. Windy day, maybe even a little windier than last night. As you see Old Glory blowing out towards right field here at Bailey Brayton. Second batter, first pitch swinging, Rocco Pepe right back up the box into center field. And a base hit for the Bulldogs here in the first inning.
First baseman, number 33.
Pepe wastes no time to extend his hitting streak to 7 games. It's now been 25 at-bats for Pepe without a strikeout. One of the tougher guys to strike out. He swings early and counts, locks in on pitches that he likes, and he's got another hit for Fresno State here in this series. 17 a night ago, with Tommy Hopfe taking strike 1 from Duke Brotherton. Hopfe's had a good series, 5 for 9 here over the first couple games. And he was the closer on Friday night. Brotherton working ahead of him, 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch up high. Hopfe 6 in the Mountain West Conference, batting .359 coming into this Sunday. He's one off Eddie Saldivar's league-leading 62 hits. Runner takes off. No, shut it down. Jacob Morrow was keeping an eye over there on Rocco Pepe. Started a couple steps off the first base side. Pepe does have 5 steals on 7 tries this year. A move over to first base. Duke Brotherton, a fastball in the low 90s. Last one he threw here, the start of this one was 92. Fires in the 2-2, that skips in. Counts full. Along with the fastball, a changeup, and a slider for Duke Brotherton. A man on here in the single from Rocco Pepe in the first. Brotherton's 3-2 pitch, line foul down the left field side. Pepe getting a head start here with the full count. Fresno State comfortable with his ability to run. Though Jacob Morrow behind the plate, good at catching runners. Let's see if the Cougs can strike one out, throw one out. There's the head start again. There's strike three. Morrow to second, tag down. Pepe's safe. The tag from Kyle Russell. So a strikeout for Duke Brotherton. He gets Tommy Hopfe looking. Stolen base for Rocco Pepe. And 2 outs here in the first. Man in scoring position for Fresno State. No challenge from the Washington State dugout on the tag. So Grady Morgan had the home run on Friday night to right field. He stands in now and takes a pitch outside. Two for 4 on Friday night with that home run and a big double to right field, setting up the comeback in the 9th inning. That double came off of Brotherton. Brotherton stays away from him now, 2-0. Washington State trying to strand a runner in scoring position. Fresno State trying to start with a run as they did yesterday here in the first. Another pitch outside, 3 balls, no strikes. On deck is Ben Newton, who had a couple doubles yesterday for Fresno State. The 3-0 pitch to Grady Morgan, and he takes at the knees for a strike. Cougars have crew parked their second baseman shifted way out onto the turf in right field. Around on the right side. Rocco Pepe, pardon me, you saw there, he runs well at second. 3-1 pitch inside for ball 4. 2-out walk for Grady Morgan. 2 on for Fresno State with 2 outs here in the first. And it brings up Ben Newton, who had those couple doubles yesterday. Now 20 doubles, leading both this Fresno State team and the Mountain West Conference. He's looking to come through with 2 outs. Fouls off the first from Duke Brotherton. Fresno State is now 27-15 on the year. They are the Mountain West Conference leaders, a 14-7 conference record. Pitch up high. Brotherton in his other 3 starts, 4 innings each against Utah Tech and TCU back in February and Cal the middle of April. Pitch hit on the ground, foul, first base side. It's now a ball and 2 strikes. To the shortstop for Fresno State, Ben Newton. Runners retreating back. Rocco Pepe was looking to get going if that was in fair. Fresno State struck first last night in game 2 of the series, and the pitch almost hit Newton. He leaned back away from it, 2-2. Brotherton looking to get out of the first inning. Another one fought off. Fans up there keeping an eye out off the ricochet on the third base side. Two-two pitch. Up high for ball 3. Count full, first and second, the runners. Important spot here in the top of the first inning. Brotherton's pitch. Runners get a head start. It's a fly ball to center field. Should be no trouble for Nate Swartz as he makes the catch for out number 3. And Duke Brotherton strands a couple Bulldogs here in the top of the first inning. WSU will have its first cuts when we come back. Max Hartman, Kyle Russell, and Cole Kramer will tell you about the rest of the order when we return as you're watching baseball here on this Sunday afternoon on Pac-12 Plus. No scores. We go to the bottom of the first inning on the Palouse. Look at the Washington State dugout. Cougar hitters getting ready for their first at-bats. Order for Washington State. A lot of the same as you see for the Cougars. Eli Kennel will stay in the order for WSU as the designated hitter. He had the first 2-hit game of his collegiate career a night ago. He is batting in the 6th spot for the Cougars this afternoon. Up on the mound for Fresno State is Jake Riding, tremendous right-handed pitcher who has the 4th best ERA in the Mountain West Conference. You see the numbers on the season, a 4-1 record, 37 strikeouts to 11 walks. He is the best in the Mountain West, an opponent batting average .233 they're hitting against him. Defensively behind him, same that we've seen throughout the series. Pepe in left field as it was a day ago. Everything else unchanged for Fresno State throughout this set. Max Hartman to lead off for WSU. Cougars stranded a couple. Hartman putting down a bunt. Murph Gray dancing out of the way of it to see it foul. Hartman's been known to try to bunt for hit to lead off for Washington State this year. First time he tried to show it here in this series. Did not play on Friday night. Was serving a 1-game suspension from an ejection back on Tuesday against Gonzaga. But Hartman did play a night ago. A walk, 0 for 2 in that game. Second pitch is in for a strike, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Jake Riding. Riding now starting in his 4th consecutive game. 0-2 pitch fouled off, fought off the hands by Hartman. Riding had a start on March 9th against Columbia, and then the last 3 games. So this is start number 5 on the season for him. Hartman able to get a piece of it, fouled off the catcher Justin Stransky. Still 0-2 to the Cougar leadoff man. Was a sophomore from St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. Hitting well in the sophomore year at .319. He takes a pitch low and away. Ball and 2 strikes. 38 runs driven in for Max Hartman, leads the Cougars. Bottom of the order has done such a good job of getting on base for him this year. Crew Park in the 9 spot of the Cougar order leads the team in walks. Table's been set well for Max Hartman this year to get him into those RBI opportunities. He's fouled a couple off the catcher, Justin Stransky, here, lengthening this at-bat. 3 2-strike pitches fouled off. Riding puts one right over the top of home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Along with having the best opposing batting average in the Mountain West at .233, 37 hits allowed as first amongst qualifying pitchers. And he has his first strikeout this afternoon. Freezes Hartman on the lower inside corner and wins the 8-pitch battle to open his day. Jake Riding with a strikeout right away. It'll bring up Kyle Russell for Washington State. The strikeout for Riding is 38th of the season. Kyle Russell now at the right side. And first pitch, he takes a strike on the lower inside corner. Calling balls and strikes is Bradley Hungerford. Garrett Wells at first base, David Buck at second base, Ryan Bleiberg at third base, the umpiring crew. Russell taking on a pitch that's over the outside half for strike 2. Riding promptly to a 0-2 count after the strikeout to open his day. Gets Russell to ground at left side. Gray to his left. Slings a throw to first ahead of Kyle Russell. 2 away for Washington State in the first. Good start for Jake Riding and the Bulldogs. The 4th leading hitter in the Pac-12 up next, Cole Kramer. .355 average coming into play. He was second in the league in hitting behind Oregon State's Travis Pizzana earlier in the series. But Kramer, a tough day yesterday, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. First pitch just misses off the lower outside corner. Pitch inside, and this hits Kramer on his left arm. So the first base runner for the Cougars by way of a hit batter.
Number 25.
And Cole Kramer on with 2 outs for Kason Taggart. Taggart, who's had a better series than the stretch he'd had of late coming into this set. He was 2 for 25 previously to this series in his last 25 at-bats. He's gone 3 for 7 here on the weekend so far. Fresno State winning both games to open the series, 5-4 on Friday night, 12-2 last night. Taggart takes a fastball at the knees to open his at-bat. Six home runs for Taggart, 1 off the WSU team lead. Second pitch in too low. Cougars led on Friday night 4-3 after the 8th inning, but Fresno State right away a couple in scoring position. They got second and third, nobody out, took the lead in the 9th and held on with Tommy Hopfe shutting the door. The first baseman who also closes for the Bulldogs, holding on Cole Kramer over at first base. Jake Riding a strike away from getting through the first. WSU stranded a couple Fresno State runners in the top half. Taggart to center field, down in front of Michael McKernan for the base hit. 4th hit of the series for Kason Taggart. And right on it, driving it back up the middle. First and second now for the Cougars with 2 outs. So Jake Riding will try to match Duke Brotherton and get out of a spot with a couple runners on. He'll have to do it against Jacob Morrow, who was great on Friday night for WSU. Had 3 hits on Friday, a pair of doubles. Cougars regular catcher on Fridays and Sundays. Will Cresswell handles the catching duties on Saturdays. First pitch right over the plate for a strike, a fastball to Morrow. WSU trying to stop a 6-game slide. Fresno State, they did that at the start of the series on Friday night. Pitch too low to Jacob Morrow, 1-1. It's the longest losing stretch of the year for WSU. It was likewise for Fresno State on Friday. Both teams trying to get some good momentum going into the final regular season weeks. For Fresno State, it sees them having a chance to wrap up the crown in the Mountain West. WSU is trying to fight their way into the Pac-12 tournament in Scottsdale. They'll be jockeying with UW, UCLA for that final spot. Cougars have some tough series coming up. Oregon State next weekend. Comes here to Bailey Brayton Field, and then USC the weekend following that. They finish the regular season at Oregon. Morrow, weak bleeder off the end of the bat, hurrying over to it. Eddie Saldivar, and he's got the throw to first in time for out number 3. So both teams leave a couple runners on in the first. We head to the second, scoreless between Fresno State and Washington State here on Pac-12 Plus.
It's time for the Cap Shuffle presented by Giza Credit Union.
Coug fans out here for Sunday afternoon baseball. Top of the second inning coming up. No score right now between WSU and Fresno State. Murph Gray, Bobby Blanford, Justin Stransky for the Bulldogs due up in the second. Duke Brotherton a scoreless first inning. He stranded a couple runners. Murph Gray at the right side to start against him. First pitch hops in. Duke Brotherton, we have mentioned this year a lot about the family history that he has at Washington State. As Gray takes a swing at the 1-0, shallow center field. Back with it, Crew Park. Couldn't find it in the cloudy sky up overhead. He was going to be the only one to get there, and Murph Gray with an overcast single to open the top of the second. You can see those clouds up overhead. We're playing with the view of both Kyle Russell and Crew Park racing back, and you could see Crew Park throw his hands out, so he couldn't locate it. So a man on right away for Fresno State in the second. And Bobby Blanford, who's had a tough series, 0 for 8, stands in for his first at-bat. We'll check over on Gray. Yeah, Brotherton is a fourth-generation Cougar, the starter for WSU. And his grandfather, Biff, connected to WSU athletics in a lot of ways. First pitch low to Bobby Blanford, 1-0. Biff Brotherton, he passed away back in 2011, but he was a friend of longtime legendary Cougar baseball coach Bobo Brayton. Fly ball, left field. This will be a long run for Kason Taggart, but he paces with it over to make the catch for out number 1. Retreating back to first goes Murph Gray. Also Sam Jankovic, former WSU athletic director, and Duke Brotherton's grandfather, really instrumental, helped lead some of the really big fundraising efforts at Washington State, including the expansion of Martin Stadium back in the 1980s. A graduate of WSU in the 60s. Strike to Justin Stransky from the state of Washington and Puyallup. Catcher had a great game a night ago. 3 hits last night. Duke Brotherton of those Washington State ties. Not only 4th generation, but all of his aunts and uncles went to WSU as well. Pitch low to Stransky. Stransky's 3-hit game last night. Second 3-hit game for him. Broken 0 for 17 stretch. Murph Gray on at first base. Got the single that fell into shallow center field. Pitch up, Morrow throwing back to first. Trying to catch Gray on his way back to the bag, 2-1. No stolen bases for Murph Gray, last year's Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Year. Fastball pounds the inside half. Stransky, we mentioned last night, one of only 2 players not from the state of California on this Fresno State roster. It's just he and Jake Riding, the starting pitcher today. Fly ball right field. Max Hartman with eyes on it makes the catch for out number 2. So after the single that fell into shallow center, a couple flyouts for Duke Brotherton. And he'll complete his first time through the Fresno State order with Michael McKernan, the center fielder for the Bulldogs. McKernan in the 9th spot, 2 for 6 in this series with a couple walks. Takes a slider. Lower inside corner for strike 1. A check swing, but it found the inner part of the handle of the bat. Nothing in 2. Duke Brotherton stranded a pair last inning as a strikeout and a walk to his tally so far this afternoon. This completing his first time through the order. The 0-2 to McKernan. Swung on and missed. A fastball takes him to the top rope. And Duke Brotherton a couple scoreless innings to start it for WSU this afternoon. No score, bottom of the 2nd inning up next here on Pac-12 Plus.
For the Cougars, the DH.
Some Fresno State Bulldog fans in attendance, and how about a plush Bulldog as well at Bailey Brayton Field. Looks like that fan's keeping score as well. No score on that scorecard, bottom of the second inning. Eli Kennel, Joey Kramer, Nate Swartz for Washington State in the second. Kennel, his first two-hit game in college baseball a night ago. First pitch swinging here, lifted to left field. Rocco Pepe with eyes on it, and he makes the catch for the one pitch out here to start the bottom of the second.
First baseman, number 6, Joey Kramer.
Turned over to Joey Kramer with Jake Riding, retiring 4 of the first 6. He hit a batter, gave up a single last inning. First pitch to Joey Kramer, and it's called a strike on the outside half. Kramer has hits in 9 of his last 10 games. Takes around the knees, now ball and a strike. Kaysen Taggart had the hit in the first inning for WSU, but nothing came around. Jake Riding getting out of the spot with runners on at first and second. A line drive, zipped right over to the beer garden down the first base side, right over to the folks who man the van that backs up with all the goods. Butch is going over there to check on him, make sure everybody's all right. 1-2 the count to Joey Kramer. The pitch from Riding skips in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. They got the ball. It went into the van. How about that? Little souvenir for those working. Big looping breaking ball swung on and missed. Strikeout for Jake Riding, his second punch out.
Center fielder, number 37.
And Riding's retired 3 in a row. He's got 2 strikeouts already. His next one will be number 40 on the season for him. Good start to the bottom of the second for Jake Riding, Fresno State starter, who's amongst the best pitchers in the Mountain West. Facing Nate Swartz, first pitch swinging here as well. Right field and playable for Grady Morgan. Crossing the stripe to make the catch for out number 3. And a quick 7-pitch inning for Jake Riding in the second. He goes through the Cougars in order. We head to the third. No score on this Sunday afternoon. Fresno State looking for a sweep here on the road on Pac-12 Plus. All right, a youngster just succeeded in swiping a base from Butch as we kick off the third inning. No score, Fresno State and Washington State. The kids every night, they race the Cougar mascot, trying to steal a base and get it back to the Cougar bullpen before Butch can catch him. First pitch away from Eddie Saldivar, back to the top of the order for Fresno State. Duke Brotherton, 2 hits first time through, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Couple pitches away. Saldivar, 9 of his last 19. And lines one out of play down the left field line, skying over the Cougar bullpen. Saldivar transferred to Fresno State from Long Beach State. A native of Fresno. Hits one to left field. Taggart on the run for it. He's lost the cap a couple times, but he's made a couple catches. And leadoff man gone for Fresno State in the third. Get the blunt locks tucked back in. Rocco Pepe for Fresno State. A single, stole second, but was left there in the first. Singled on the first pitch. This time, backs him up off the plate. Pepe, 12 home runs, couple off the lead in the Mountain West. Lines one foul just past the WSU dugout. Coug shifting the whole deep left side for the shortstop Kyle Russell. Called strike on the inside half. Rocco Pepe had a reason to have objection to the call. 1-2 the count. Brotherton the pitch. High and tight for ball two. Been a few in on Pepe here in this at-bat, who leads the Mountain West in being hit by pitch as well. Has been hit 16 times. Brotherton up high, counts full. Duke Brotherton looking for his third strikeout. Instead, line drive through the left side for Pepe. Taggart cutting it off shy of the wall. Pepe racing hard to second. He's got a double here with a one out for Fresno State. Second hit already for Rocco Pepe. And he's into scoring position with a one out for the Bulldogs in the visitors' third. First extra base hit off of Duke Brotherton today. Rocco Pepe just a hitting machine for Fresno State. Tommy Hopfe up next. And the first pitch on the inside half to Hopfe for strike one. Pepe's entering the conversation of the hit chase with this guy, Tommy Hopfe, and Eddie Saldivar in the Mountain West. Fresno State with 3 of the leading hitters by just pure hits in the league. Pair that with a pitching staff that is ranked amongst the league's best, and Fresno State has had an outstanding year. Brotherton with the pitch a little high on the 0-2. Trying to entice Hopfe with the fastball. Brotherton struck out Hopfe looking on a 3-2 pitch in the first inning. A check swing, and it hit some part of the bat for Tommy Hopfe. Tell if it was the knob or a little higher up on the handle. Still ball and 2 strikes. Hopfe's 5 for 10 in the series after going 4 for 5 a night ago. Morrow sets up outside the whole way. Cougs trying to see if anything was on with Rocco Pepe out there at second base. Pepe there on the double here in the third inning. Ground ball right side. Kramer, the backhand and scamper to first himself for out number 2. Over to third base goes Rocco Pepe. Grady Morgan will try to drive him in here in the top of the third inning for the game's first run. Morgan, who came in today second on the team, 38 runs driven in. Had 2 big swings on Friday night. Key home run and double all in the second half of that ball game. Morgan hit by a pitch his first time up. The 0-1 pitch up high. First time Fresno State's had a runner at third in this game. Swing and a miss. Fastball past Morgan. Duke Brotherton ended the second inning with a strikeout of Michael McKernan. Brotherton would love his third punch out right here. Instead, he hits Grady Morgan for the second time in this game. And it's corner runners for Fresno State with 2 outs. Second hit batter for Duke Brotherton. Well, same hit batter, but second time that he's hit Grady Morgan. And first and third with 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Ben Newton was up with first and second, 2 outs in the first. Flew out to center field. Chance for redemption for him here in the third. First pitch swinging into right field. Still shy of the warning track. Max Hartman has the catch. And that ends the top of the third. Fresno State, they've left 5 on so far. No runs. Duke Brotherton keeping him at bay. Bottom of the third inning. Up next here on Pac-12 Plus. Those flags have been blowing a lot here over the last couple games. Windy conditions on the Palouse. No score, bottom of the third inning. Fresno State has stranded 5 runners. Jake Riding going to try to keep it scoreless through the opening third. He'll start against the bottom of the Cougar order, Crew Park. Then Max Hartman and Kyle Russell due up for Washington State. Trevor Williams and the rest of our Pac-12 Plus crew with you here from Bailey, Brayton Field, and Pullman. First pitch strike in there to Crew Park. Park out of the 9 spot in the order leads the Cougars in walks with 20 of them this year. Has had a great patient eye at the bottom of the order for first-year head coach Nathan Choate. Jake Riding, couple strikeouts already. Gets a fly ball here on the infield. Well, now it's drifting out into center with the wind. Long run, McKernan. Didn't expect that. Wind kept blowing it back into shallow center, and a great rundown by Michael McKernan for out number 1. Comes flying in to get it. And to the top of the Cougar order now with Max Hartman. Fresno State, no errors in this series. Been very sound defensively on the road. They've played well on the road this year, 13 wins to 7 losses. First pitch high and away to start off Hartman. Second pitch catches the corner. Proportion of that strike zone. Couple fastballs here from Jake Riding. Third baseman Murph Gray thinking about a bunt from Hartman on the left side of the infield. Hartman showed that to lead off the game, but it went foul. Low for ball 3. Both teams have healthy options, bullpen arms available today. Both starters off to good starts this afternoon. Eddie Saldivar up with it to Tommy Hopfeet. 2 gone for Washington State.
Shortstop, number 1, Kyle Russell.
Kyle Russell trying to get a new beginning, a new hit streak going. 5-game modest streak snapped last night. Russell a ground out to third base his first time up. Now 6 straight retired for Jake Riding. Slider to the outside half for a strike. Riding wants back-to-back 1-2-3 innings here for Fresno State on this Sunday. Strike 2. Right over that lower inside corner. Pitch number 40 here for Jake Riding. Looking to get through the third. And he flirts with the lower inside corner, just missed a bit inside. WSU's lone hit a Kason Taggart single back in the first inning. Russell fouling it high out of play. Right field line hits the top of the Cougar hitting facility. Nice facilities here at Bailey Brayton Field. WSU will be in the Mountain West next year in baseball. Russell fishes on a breaking ball. No tag from Stransky, so he has to throw to first, and he gets it there ahead of Russell. Make it 7 straight retired for Jake Riding, his 3rd strikeout of the game, and back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for the Fresno State right-hander. No score after 3. We're back with the 4th inning next. Some of the youngsters taking in some baseball this afternoon. They'll get a chance to run the bases after this one. This is customary on Sundays in Pullman. No scores. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Murph Gray, Bobby Blandford, Justin Stransky due up for Fresno State. We'll see which starting pitcher is going to blink first today. Scoreless starts for Duke Brotherton and Jake Riding. But already the 3rd time Brotherton has hit a batter Pitch was inside all the way to Murph Gray. So one pitch, he's aboard. Second time in this game that Brotherton will have to contend with a leadoff base runner in an inning. Came back after a single in the second to get the next three. It was the same spot. Murph Gray was on a single, then it was Bobby Blanford, Justin Stransky, Michael McKernan retired. Corners crashed with the shown bunt. Strike called to Bobby Blanford. Blanford wearing it here in this series, 0 for 9. Looking to come through with his first hit. Puts a bunt down instead to move Murph Gray. Brotherton down to it, underhand flip to Joey Kramer at first. Does move the runner up into scoring position. That's Murph Gray up to second with one out. So good job by Blanford to move the runner. Justin Stransky, the Fresno State catcher, up next. 3 hits a night ago. Fly out to right field in his first at-bat. First pitch, Stransky grounds it left side deep in the hole. Kyle Russell lets it go. And taking off Murph Gray from second is the throw not in time to get Stransky. And Fresno State will work it out for corner runners. Infield single for Justin Stransky. Maybe one if you're Washington State where you would have liked to see Kyle Russell just tuck it deep there with Stransky running well up the line. But first and third for the Bulldogs with one out. Here in the visitors' fourth, Michael McKernan a chance to try to deliver. A strikeout victim, McKernan, his first time up. Brotherton starts off missing on the inner half with a fastball. WSU in 17 home games this year, 8 wins, 9 losses. Suffered their 8th one-run loss back on Friday night. Corners crash. No bunt. Pitch high and tight. 2-0 to Michael McKernan. Jacob Moore going to go out and try to settle down Duke Brotherton here in the top of the fourth. Now Nathan Choate will come join the conversation for WSU, bring the infield together as well. Murph Gray over at third, Justin Stransky at first, both run well. And the Cougars have shown that they're thinking about the potential that a bunt could happen here in this spot in the top of the fourth. A squeeze play to try to get Fresno State its first run. See a lot of communication with the Cougar infield. Nathan Choate making sure all of the Cougars are on the same page here defensively in this corner runner one out spot. Double play would be in order up the middle. See smiles from Murph Gray, the freshman of the year in the Mountain West last year. Heads up base running on the play deep in the hole a batter ago to get over to third to create this havoc. Pitch low and away for ball 3 to Michael McKernan. Duke Brotherton in danger loading the bases here for Fresno State. They've already left 5 runners on. Fresno State trying not to add to that tally. And strike 1. A good fastball there from Brotherton. Along with it being problematic to load up the bases, top of this talented order waits on deck. McKernan chases a fastball upper portion of the zone. I think it would have been in for a strike anyways for Brotherton. But McKernan unable to get it up there, upper reaches of the strike zone. Payoff pitch now. And a chopper foul, third base side. Brotherton struck out McKernan in the second inning. to end that top half of the second. Definitely wouldn't mind a strikeout here with the runners on at the corners. Payoff pitch again. Grounded at third. Cougars go to second to Park for one. Back end in time for the double play. 5-4-3 to keep the scorecard clean this afternoon. And Duke Brotherton is through 4 scoreless here in Pullman. No score, Fresno State and Washington State on Pac-12 Plus.
For the Cougars, third baseman, number 32.
Bottom of the 4th inning, no score. Fresno State has had opportunities. See the 4 hits for the Bulldogs. They have left 6 runners on already in the first 4. But Duke Brotherton has been able to get out of trouble. Cole Kramer leads off for WSU in the bottom of the 4th. Jake Riding's been off to a fine start today. Kramer able to go the other way. Second hit for the Cougars this afternoon. Second time on for Kramer, who was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. And now he can start a new hitting streak. 6 gamers snapped last night. He's the leadoff base runner here for the Cougars in the 4th. First time in this game WSU has gotten to start the inning with a runner on. And it brings up Kason Taggart, who smashed a single to center field his first time up. He's first pitch swinging here. Launches it high back foul. 4 for 8 in the series now, Kason Taggart. Could easily be 5 for 8. He had another one in left center field that McKernan ran down on Friday night. That was hard hit. Kind of tailing power away into the left center field gap. You think about Kason Taggart in this series, everything's really been squared up back up the middle. He's had really good timing on these Bulldog pitchers. 1-1 low and inside. So Cougars happy to see that bat get going for Kason Taggart. Had cooled off a little bit in his previous 25 at-bats. Cole Kramer takes off, hit and run. Nifty play sliding for Tommy Hopfee. And he hops right up to first base to take it there for the out.
The catcher, number 12.
Cole Kramer into second base. He was off on the play. Cougs trying to get a hit and run going. 1 out here in the 4th. More fine defense from Fresno State here in the series. Tommy Hopfee. Quick reflexes over at first base. Jacob Morrow trying to come through for the Cougars. They struggled last night with runners in scoring position, 1 for 7. Morrow grounds it at third here. Murph Gray firing across for out number 2. And 1 pitch for the second out. Cole Kramer was looked back to second. It'll be Eli Kennel trying to deliver for the Cougars. Friday night, 3 for 10, respectable for the Cougars with runners in scoring position. Today, though, already 0 for 2 in a couple tries. Fresno State 1 for 5. Eli Kennel had a couple hits. First time in a college game for him with multi-hits yesterday. Picked up his second RBI. He takes a strike. It was maybe a bit outside. On a changeup from Jake Riding to open the at-bat to him with 2 outs. Swing and a miss on the outer half. Basically same pitch there for Riding. So he's ahead of Kennel, trying to keep it scoreless through 4 innings. 1 strikeout in each of the first 3 innings for Jake Riding. He has 40 on the season now. And gets it fouled off, just third base side of the plate. Kennel, limited experience last year at Oregon State. His former squad comes to town next weekend. Cougs have a midweeker over across the state in Seattle against Seattle U, then Oregon State Friday through Sunday next weekend. High and away to make it 1-2 to Eli Kennel. That'll be a big series, a top 10 Oregon State team coming in. WSU took 2 of 3 from them early in Pac-12 play last year in Corvallis. Kennel takes, that was close at the knees. Jake Riding really wanted it on that lower outside corner. The slider called ball 2. Riding from Pahrump, Nevada. Mentioned he and his battery mate, Justin Stransky, the only non-Californians on this roster. Strikeout number 4 for Jake Riding as he comes back after he wanted the strike 3 called. He gets the strike 3 swinging, and he strands a Cougar runner in the process. Good starts on both sides here so far on this Sunday. No score going to the 5th inning on Pac-12 Plus. Well, I don't think they're going to put him in and insert him in the outfield, but Butch staying loose just in case for Washington State. No score. Top of the 5th inning coming up next. Top of the order for Fresno State. Duke Brotherton, a double play ball to get out of the 4th. Starts against Eddie Saldivar, the leadoff man for Fresno State. And a strike on the lower outside corner. Saldivar lifts it foul, left field line. Into the concourse. Oh, right on the grill down at the concession stand. How about that? We've had a foul ball into the beer cart. And then one on top of the hot dogs and hamburgers going down the left field line. 0-2. Eddie Salvador trying to extend his 4-game hitting streak, all of which have been games with multiple hits. Came in today 5th in batting average in the Mountain West at .360. 9 of his last 20 at the plate. Lifts a fly ball to left center field. Nate Swartz there for it for out number 1. 3 flyouts for Eddie Saldivar so far this afternoon. Rocco Pepe coming up. He's been a tough out. 7-game hitting streak. No strikeouts in his last 26 at-bats. 2 hits in this game. A single and a double his first couple times up. First pitch swinging here. Short hops Kyle Russell. He's unable to glove it. And Pepe is in safely. Peppered it at 104 at the Cougar shortstop, who was already a couple steps onto the outfield grass. And an infield hit for Rocco Pepe, his 3rd hit of the game. Just crushed run right at Kyle Russell. And it looked like for a moment he was going to be able to make a tremendous play on it. But Tommy Hopfe now 0 for 2 swinging at the first pitch and fouling it off behind the plate. Three hits for Rocco Pepe. 5 hits in the series for him now. Hopfe fouls it off the catcher, Jacob Morrow. 0-2. So Hopfe and Pepe, 5 hits each in the series. Saldivar with 5 hits. Top of this order has just been electric for Fresno State. 3 guys all hitting above 350 here late in the season. Brotherton just misses the lower outside corner. Tommy Hopfe was down looking in the first inning. One of a couple strikeouts for Duke Brotherton. Hasn't issued any walks, but he's hit 3 batters. Bounces one in front of the plate. Good stop by Jake Morrow, and he finds it by his feet. Windy day, but the fans look comfortable here in Pullman. Sunshine on all the seats around home plate and down the first and third base sides. Check over on the runner Pepe at first, who does have 7 stolen bases, including 1 earlier in this game on the strikeout in the first inning for Tommy Hopfe. Hope wherever you're watching today, you're enjoying your Sunday. Final game of this set between WSU and Fresno State. Brotherton thought he had strike 3 on the lower inside corner. It was close. Counts full. It was a full count on the strikeout to Hopfe in the first inning. Same spot with 1 out. Pepe took a head start that time. He does here as well, and it's lined foul over the third base side. We'll do it again with 7th pitch upcoming in this at-bat. This 5th inning right now is really a copy of how the game started for Duke Brotherton. Fly out to Eddie Saldivar, base hit Rocco Pepe, and then a 3-2 count to Tommy Hopfe. Another check on first. He got the runner leading. Duke Brotherton picks off Rocco Pepe. His first flinch on movement was towards second. He was going to take that head start, and Brotherton picks him off. 2 gone. And now Duke Brotherton will turn his attention to trying to finish off this at-bat that's gone full with Tommy Hopfe. The payoff pitch. Back middle of the diamond, Kyle Russell, couple hops. A dart to first. It's just ahead of Hopfe. And Duke Brotherton, his longest start for Washington State now. 5 scoreless for the 4th generation Coug. Halfway point, no score. Big smiles after that pickoff from Duke Brotherton in the 5th. Washington State University Student Recreation Center in the background. Foreground, Old Glory really blowing out in right field. A lot of wind in Eastern Washington, especially these last couple games. Joey Kramer, Nate Swartz, Crew Park, 7, 8, 9 of the Cougar order in the bottom of the 5th. Jake Riding looking to match the 5 scoreless innings from Duke Brotherton on Washington State's side. Riding with 4 strikeouts in this game. He, like Brotherton, no walks, but he did hit 1 batter. Brotherton's hit 3. Kramer a strikeout his first time up. Takes the breaking ball low and away. Two hits for the Cougars. Cole Kramer, Kason Taggart. Ball launched high in the air. Wind's going to take this back on Grady Morgan. Onto the track. It's still going, and it's a wind-aided home run for Joey Kramer. His team-leading 8th of the season, and he puts it up in the jet stream to get the Cougars in front 1-0 this afternoon. That's how you play it in the home ballpark if you're Joey Kramer. High fly ball, and it gets going with that steady 20-mile-an-hour wind out to right. 8th home run of the season for Joey Kramer. That breaks the seal on this ball game in the 5th. Two 2-0 to Nate Swartz. So many good power hitters at Washington State have used that jet stream here on the Palouse to add to their home run total. Kramer with hits now in 10 of his last 11 games, swinging a very consistent bat for Washington State. His home run giving the Cougars a 1-0 lead here in the 5th. Jake Riding maybe a little bit rattled after the home run. It's 3-1 to Nate Swartz. First home run of the series for Washington State. Through the whole left side for Nate Swartz. Base hit to follow up the home run. And the Cougars' little spark here from the bottom of the order in the 5th inning. This year, when it's been going well for Washington State at the plate, it's been because these guys near the bottom of the order have been contributing. Joey Kramer shifted down this order a little bit for WSU, providing a spark in the 7 spot. Crew Park here out of the 9 hole. He's going to try to bunt Nate Swartz up to second. Good bunt on the first base side, and Park's going to wander all the way back towards home before Tommy Hoffey puts the tag on him. Sacrifice to move Nate Swartz up to second base. So one away in the top of the Cougar order, Max Hartman. Good speed there, and Nate Swartz on at second. Hartman 0 for 2 in this game, but is the Cougar leader in runs driven in with 38 this year. Watches a pitch well outside. Good opportunity for WSU to try to get a couple runs off Jake Riding in the 5th. Hartman swinging through the fastball. So 4 hits now for the Cougars. Another swing and a miss, this time off speed. Down on that lower half for Max Hartman. 1-2 for Hartman, who has 51 hits, 38 runs driven in, 12 extra base knocks. A swing and a miss. Second time that Riding has struck out Max Hartman in this ball game. And punch out number 5 for Jake Riding. Big out number 2. Riding trying to limit the damage to just a single run here in the 5th. To do so, he'll need to get through the Cougars senior middle infielder Kyle Russell. One strikeout in every inning for Jake Riding now. And his fastball to open up the at-bat with Kyle Russell is in there for strike 1. ERA oh so close to dipping back down below 4 for Jake Riding. 1 run allowed here in this one. Another fly ball to right field. This one doesn't have quite as much carry as Kramer's, but the wind still gets it back just shy of the track as the catch is made for out number 3. And Washington State opens the scoring on the 8th home run of the season for Joey Kramer. After 5, it's the Cougars 1, the Bulldogs nothing here in the finale of this 3-game set on Pac-12+. A 1-0 lead for Washington State. Home run for the Cougars in the 5th. Duke Brotherton's going to stay on for the 6th. He has thrown, 97 pitches on the weekend, 19 on Friday night, 5 scoreless innings today, and he's feeling good. Starts off away from Grady Morgan, who Duke Brotherton's hit 2 times today. He's also hit Murph Gray once. Morgan lifts this to left field. Coming in, Taggart, as has been customary today, losing the cap as he makes the catch for out number 1.
Shortstop number 12, Ben Newton.
Gonna have to get him one of those party hat strings to loop under the cap to keep it on. 1 gone. Ben Newton, the shortstop for Fresno State. Couple flyouts for Ben Newton after his couple doubles yesterday, up to a league-leading 20. Pitch inside for ball 1. Two to Ben Newton. Newton taking a big swing at this, turns it foul down the right field line. A lot to it over the top of that hitting facility. Kind of way out in front. Newton hits this to left center field. Wynn taking it away into the gap. Nate Swartz, headlong dive, nearly his 3rd of the week. Newton is going to have another double in this series. Make it 21 on the season. It's putting him near the NCAA lead, as Nate Swartz couldn't get to it there in center field off the end of his glove. 3rd double here in the last 2 games for Ben Newton, and Fresno State in business in the top of the 6th. Swartz had an incredible catch in left center field diving on Friday night. He also had one back on Tuesday for Washington State. Ben Newton, 21 doubles. Coming into the weekend in college baseball, 21 doubles was good for the lead. Tyler McGregor and Carlos Martinez of Northeastern and UMass Lowell each had 21. Coming into the weekend, the NCAA has not updated those stats yet all the way across. The Cougars do have a couple arms going, a right-hander and a left-hander in the bullpen, and Nathan Choate will make a change here in this spot with the tying run on in scoring position for Fresno State after the double for Ben Newton. Cougars will call for the left-hander. We'll come back with the pitching change right after this timeout here on Pac-12 Plus. Spencer Jones will be the new arm for Washington State in the top of the 6th inning. Fresno State has the tie and run at second base. Jones has spent time as both a starter and out of the bullpen this year. 46 and a third innings. The ERA of 7.5, 27 strikeouts to 15 walks, 2-3 the record. Jones, this will be his 6th relief appearance. He has 10 starts to his credit this year as well. Comes into this game with Ben Newton on at second base. Duke Brotherton 5 and a third innings as the starter, giving up 6 hits, the last of which was the double for Newton into left center field. Off the glove of Nate Swartz, who made a diving try at it. 2 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hit batters on 85 pitches for Duke Brotherton. He is certainly hoping over on the third base side that Spencer Jones can keep this a 1-0 lead and get him in line for a potential victory after Brotherton suffered the loss on Friday night. Murph Gray is the next hitter for Fresno State. A single in the second on a ball that was lost in the clouds in shallow center field by a couple Cougar middle infielders going back. Crew Park had the best chance at it. Gray was then hit by a pitch in the 4th. First pitch, this is lifted to center field. Swartz gliding over with it to make the catch for out number 2. 1 pitch out of the bullpen and an out for Spencer Jones. And it'll bring up Bobby Blanford, who's 0 for 10 in the series.
Bobby Blanford.
Actually 0 for 9, pardon me. His last at-bat was a sacrifice. Be a big time for his first hit here in this weekend set. Try to get Fresno State back to even. Spencer Jones with the pitch, and it covers the outside half for strike 1. The southpaw Jones, a 6'4 senior from Salt Lake City, Utah. Already got 1 out here out of the bullpen, trying to keep the Cougs in front, and he just misses away. Back-to-back fastballs here, ball and a strike. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Strike 2. Blanford, the junior from Elk Grove, California. Straight to Fresno State from Pleasanton Grove High School. Ball and 2 strikes. Spencer Jones trying to keep the Cougars in front. Stays outside. A lot of the fastball here from Jones. Fastball, slider, changeup. Changeup the go-to off-speed pitch for Jones. Now the 2-2. And outside for ball 3. Count's full. Bobby Blanford on the season, 22 runs driven in, 5 doubles, 2 triples, 8 home runs. Just hasn't gotten to display the power in this series. Trying to come through for the first time this weekend. Jones the pitch. Lifted. Shallow center field. Kyle Russell going back. He will stick with it, backpedaling to make the catch for out number 3. Tough catch, especially in the windy conditions today. And WSU ends the top of the 6th in front, 1-0. Duke Brotherton will be in line for a win if the Cougars can get it done today. What a fantastic 5 1/3 innings for him. Nice work by Spencer Jones to keep it 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
For the Cougars, third baseman number 32, Cole Kramer.
Beautiful scenes in Eastern Washington. 1-0 Washington State, bottom of the 6th inning. Trees starting to turn on the campus of Washington State University. Cole Kramer, Kaysen Taggart, Jacob Morrow, 3, 4, 5 due up for WSU in the 6th. Trying to add on to a 1-0 lead on the solo home run from Joey Kramer last inning. Jake Riding, pitcher for Fresno State, working into his 6th inning. 1 ball and a strike to Cole Kramer. Pitch count for Riding's at 81 right now. His 82nd up too high. 2 balls and a strike. Kramer taking. Now 2-2. Spencer Jones out of the bullpen for WSU. Got the Cougars out of a spot with a runner on at second, 1 out. Breaking pitch away now from Cole Kramer. Counts full, 3-2. Big swing at the payoff. Launched well out of play over the first base side. Cole Kramer hit by a pitch in the first, singled in the 4th. Payoff pitch from Jake Riding. Again, down the right field line and tailing out of play. Eighth pitch in this at-bat upcoming. Cole Kramer, the first hitter in the sixth for WSU. Another one fouled off. Kind of same area there down the right field line. So ninth pitch now for Cole Kramer. Leading hitter in many ways for Washington State. The leadoff man in the Cougars' sixth. Tough one to play it short under the glove of Ben Newton. And Cole Kramer is on with his second hit of the day. 9-pitch at bat ends in a single for Cole Kramer. And as he did in the fourth, he starts the sixth for the Cougars with a base runner for Kason Taggart. Taggart, who almost hit one through at first in the fourth inning, but it was gloved by Tommy Hopfe on a nice backhanded play. First pitch bounces on Justin Stransky. Back in the first inning, Taggart, a line drive single into center field. Swing and a miss. Taggart out in front of the off-speed pitch. Riding with 5 strikeouts, 1 in each of these 5 innings he's pitched today. Now working in the 6th. Riding likes that changeup away from hitters. Been in and around the zone today. He's pitched a good one, so did Duke Brotherton on the other side. Cougar starter, 5 1/3 of 6 hit scoreless innings. 2 strikeouts for him. What was his 4th start of the year? 5th start of the season for Riding. And now he's back into the count at 2-2. Grown from Kason Taggart, who felt it was off that lower outside corner. Well-pitched game on this Sunday. Washington State trying to find some insurance. Fresno State trying to keep the deficit at 1. Coming up for the Bulldogs. We talked about the Cougars have Oregon State coming up. Conference play will continue for Fresno State. After this non-conference series, San Diego State coming up next weekend. Down in San Diego. UNLV, Air Force, still the remaining series. Air Force in second right now. Another runner leaning, and a pickoff for Jake Riding. Duke Brotherton got one. Cole Kramer this time caught off of first base. And each starter today has picked off a runner. So Jake Riding erases the leadoff base runner for the Cougars. Now 1 out, count full with Kason Taggart. Can Riding turn this into a big 2 outs, bases empty? He might do just that on the fly ball. Shallow left field being called for by Ben Newton in the shortstop. The loudest voice in that meeting of Newton, Pepe, and Gray in shallow left. And it's 2 gone. Now in the bottom of the 6th, Jacob Morrow, the Cougar catcher, coming up. Big time bounce back for Jake Riding. The pickoff at first base and then the fly out. And all of a sudden it's 2 gone. Nobody on base. Riding has gotten Morrow to ground out in each of his first 2 at-bats. Starts him off with strike 1. Curveball snapped off for strike 2. We haven't seen that used a ton by Riding in this game. It was at 69 miles an hour. 0-2 for Jake Riding. Trying to get through the 6th. Jacob Morrow trying to follow up his 3-for-4 night on Friday. Breaking pitch away. Cole Kramer 2-for-2. Kason Taggart a hit. Joey Kramer, Nate Swartz. Joey Kramer's the home run. Only run of this game. Couple 2-strike pitches fouled off by Jacob Morrow. Morrow, who's had a great year, both behind the plate and at the plate. He takes another curveball. This time, low and away, 2-2. Jake Riding, 5 strikeouts. Looking for his 6th. And he almost spun it off with the breaking pitch. Half his infield was a step towards the dugout in the first base side for Fresno State. It was close, upper portion of the strike zone. Count full, 3-2. The payoff pitch. Hit in the air to center field. Back with it goes McKernan. Wind pushing it towards the track. McKernan, a shoulder into the fence right after he makes the catch for out number 3. A single for the Cougars erased on the pickoff. 6 one-run innings for Jake Riding. We go to the 7th in a tight pitcher's duel on this Sunday afternoon. 1-0 Washington State. Few folks enjoying some of Sunday's best. 7th inning coming up, 1-0 Washington State. Justin Stransky, Michael McKernan, Eddie Saldivars. 8-9-1 for the Bulldogs. Spencer Jones will continue on in relief for WSU. First pitch misses outside. Stransky a single his last time up. Ground ball at third. Cole Kramer deep behind the third base bag. A skip way out in front of first. Joey Kramer able to dig it out for out number 1.
Center fielder, number 31, Michael McCurry.
Bring up Michael McKernan. A couple flyouts and a ground out for Spencer Jones. He's retired the first 3 that he's faced out of the Cougar bullpen. Wants to get the second out before he faces the 3-headed monster of Eddie Saldivar, Rocco Pepe, Tommy Hopfe. Now 0-2 after the swing and a miss for McKernan. Fly ball right field. Max Hartman coming in on the run, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down. Spencer Jones, 4 straight retired out of the bullpen.
Second baseman, number 7, Eddie Saldivar.
Here's Eddie Saldivar. 0 for 3 in this game after coming in 9 of his last 18. And on a 4-game hitting streak. Headlines the top of this order with 3 guys all hitting above 350. And a first pitch strike. All 3 outs have been flyouts for Saldivar. Now the count even. Rocco Pepe, his teammate, has gotten within a couple hits now of the Mountain West leading 62 that Saldivar came in with. He grounds at first base side. It's foul. Joey Kramer trying to dance and get a foot on the bag, was looking to keep it in play. Ball and 2 strikes. Cougars play Crew Park, their second baseman, way around at second base onto the turf in right field. 1-2 pitch dives into the turf at home plate, 2-2. One-run game here on this Sunday afternoon. Jones missing outside, counts full. Cougs would love to start the next inning with nobody on for Rocco Pepe. To do that, Jones needs the out here, the payoff pitch. Hit to left field. Kason Taggart, good start on it off to his left to make the catch for out number 3 in a 1-2-3 inning for Spencer Jones. He's retired all 5 that he's faced out of the bullpen. Time to stretch. 1-0 Cougars in this Sunday finale, trying to salvage a game in this 3-game series. Look at the indoor training facility for Washington State. Over on the first base side of things, a new pitcher for Fresno State is Aiden Cremarosa. 1-1, 27 2/3 innings, a 3.90 ERA, 28 strikeouts to 11 walks. Part of this talented Fresno State pitching staff. Final line for Jake Riding, 6 innings for the starter, 5 hits, a run that was earned, 4 strikeouts. Did not issue a walk. He hit 1 batter. The 1 run allowed a solo home run to Joey Kramer back in the 5th inning. And on a day where it's not 20-mile-an-hour winds out to right field, it was probably just a flyout. WSU will have Eli Kennel, Joey Kramer, Nate Swartz, 6, 7, 8, due up in the bottom of the 7th inning. See Kennel there warming up left side of your screen. Joey Kramer, who had that home run, his 8th home run of the season. Aiden Cremarosa, 6'3" sophomore from Burbank, California, of IMG Academy.
Batting for the Cougars, the D is number 2, Eli Kennel.
So Eli Kennel 0 for 2 in this game. Collected 2 hits last night. He will look to get it started for the Cougars in the last of the 7th. WSU has started with a base runner or a home run each of the last 3 innings. Pitch low and away from Eli Kennel. 92 on the first fastball in for Cremarosa. Follows it up with a strike on the lower outside corner, also at 92. Now goes off speed for strike 2. Seventh inning of a tight game. Fresno State taking the first 2 in this series. Kendall takes inside. Fresno State would love a chance to sweep a Cougar team that will be part of its conference next year. Cougar's going to play baseball in the Mountain West. Ball grounded foul right at the plate. Shift on to the right side of the infield. Second baseman Eddie Saldivar swung around right side. Swing and a miss as Aiden Cremarosa comes into the ball game and fires a strikeout. Did it with an off-speed pitch.
Number 6, Joey Kramer.
1 gone for Washington State in the bottom of the 7th. Joey Kramer coming up after his home run, the game's only run last time up in the 5th inning. First pitch just misses low to Kramer. One nothing Washington State here in the 7th. Kramer hits in 10 of his last 11 games after the home run last time up. Hits one this time to shallow left field. Newton going back, Pepe coming in, and Pepe, actually a change in left field. It's not Rocco Pepe there in left field anymore. Blandford has taken over in left for Fresno State. Either way, Bobby Blandford makes the catch. And 2 gone for Washington State in the bottom of the 7th. So defensive change there. I'm guessing they've just moved Pepe and Blanford straight up for one another, trying at the bunt for Nate Swartz. He came up empty, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch hit down the left field line. That's in fair. Swartz digging for second. And he'll be there standing up with a double for WSU. 2-out double for the Cougars. Nate Swartz, second hit of the game. Swartz gets the Cougars an opportunity with a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the 7th to try to get some insurance and add on to the 1-0 lead. Crew Park will be tasked with that. 3 for his last 21. A sacrifice his last time up in the 5th inning. Six hits now for either side after the double for Nate Swartz. Right back up the middle by Crew Park. A hard hit single to drive in Nate Swartz. Washington State leads 2-0. RBI 23 for the Cougars second baseman. And a little insurance added in the 7th with 2 outs. Set up on the double from Nate Swartz. Good work and 2-out hitting for the Cougars here in this 7th inning. Park was all over the fastball, right over the zone. Now he runs well over at first base here for Max Hartman. Pitch low and away from Hartman for ball 2. We were talking earlier about the bottom portion of this order being a big part of Washington State's success this year. That continues to hold true with the 7, 8, 9 hitters combining for the 2 runs for the Cougars today. Max Hartman well ahead, 3 balls and no strikes. Aiden Cremarosa here with the pitch. And it misses for ball 4, a 4-pitch walk of Max Hartman. So make it 1st and 2nd for the Cougars.
Shortstop number 1, Kyle.
And a chance to do some damage in this 7th inning for Washington State. We are finding out that fly out to left field, in fact, was only the 2nd play to left field in this game. We didn't notice it earlier, but Bobby Blanford, he's been playing left field the entire game, folks. So apologies to you for that. They swapped those 2 guys before the game, and there was no notification up here to the press box or anything like that. So that's what happened out there in left field. You obviously wouldn't have been able to switch them before. You would have lost the DH, the hitter Pepe, who's due to come up next inning. So Kyle Russell's 0 for 3, but he has a couple on here with 2 outs. Strike into Kyle Russell on the fastball. Two and two, or 1 and 2, pardon me. Cremarosa with the pitch. Breaking ball comes inside. It hits Russell. Cremarosa just lost the handle on it. And now the bases are loaded for the Cougars. With their best hitter, Cole Kramer, coming up. Already a run home in the inning. And a chance for Cole Kramer to really make it hurt here in the 7th. Kramer 2 hits and hit by a pitch today. His average back up above 360 at 363. Takes a first pitch. Breaking ball kind of right over the heart of the plate. Might have been sitting fastball here to open up the at-bat. He's got bases loaded. Cremarosa comes home. Kramer hitting it sharply at second. It eats up Saldivar. Now racing around third. Sliding to score is Max Hartman. And the Cougars make it 2 runs. Both Park and Hartman scoring. 4-0 Washington State. Ball that ate up Eddie Saldivar at second. I think likely to be a 2-run error here in the bottom of the 7th. The Cougars will take it and get a couple runs out of it. Saldivar had an opportunity to put an end to this 7th inning. 2 come to score. Up to second base goes Kyle Russell. It's been scored a single. Ball and a strike to Kason Taggart. So, pardon me, 2 RBI single for Cole Kramer. The 1-1 pitch. Now a little breathing room for Washington State in this game. 4-0, the Cougar lead. And strike 2 in there to Kason Taggart. 8th hitter in the inning for WSU. Big 3-run inning here for the Cougars. And lined at first, in and out of the glove of Tommy Hopfee. He'll get up and scamper quickly to first base for out number 3 to put an end to the 7th. 3 runs for the Cougars. They get a little spacing in this ball game after 7, leading 4-0. Some fans taking in some ice cream and some souvenir cups there on a final game of this series. Couple things to report defensively. Max Hartman moves over to left field, and Alan Shibley will take over in right for Washington State. Kason Taggart out of the game for the Cougars. Defensive moves here for WSU. A swing and a miss. Spencer Jones starting off against Rocco Pepe here in the 8th. Now a fly ball. Racing in Shibley. This might fall in no man's land. No, Shibley able to track it down. Wind kept pushing it out with him a little bit as well, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Good jump on it by Alan Shibley. Rocco Pepe retired for the first time today. And Spencer Jones has come in out of the bullpen and retired 6. All 6 that he has faced. Now faces Tommy Hopfe trying to get through the very tough top third of this order. Hopfe 0 for 3 in this game, 5 for 12 in the series now. Lower inside corner, there's a strike. Jones still working that inside half. 2-1 the count. Hammered back up the middle by Hopfe. Out into center field for a base hit. 1 out base runner for Fresno State. They have some work to do here these last couple innings. Right now trailing 4-0 after a 3-run 7th for WSU. Grady Morgan, the right fielder for the Bulldogs, up next. Morgan to fly out to left field last time up. He was hit in his first 2 at-bats by Duke Brotherton. The ball away to the screen is going to allow Hopfe up to second base. Wild pitch there. Nathan Choate going to come out of the dugout, come talk to Spencer Jones. Maybe trying to settle him down. You can see coming kind of right into that conversation saying, hey, no worries. It's 4-0 here. Let's come right at some guys and make the Fresno State hitters make the play. You see a lot of smiles there in that huddle. It was definitely kind of a moment to lighten the mood for Nathan Choate, the first-year head coach of the Cougars. He does a really great job with his team. Guys are really bought in. There have been some rough stretches this year, but talking to him before the series, he mentioned to me he's just really proud of how, even through the difficulties, the rough stretch they've hit in this last month, that the guys have just continued to show up, do the right things, continue to follow that process. And definitely Washington State is hoping that it pays off in some big wins down the stretch in Pac-12 play. Line drive down the left field line, foul, 2-1. There are some big games on the horizon for Washington State and Oregon State, USC, Oregon down the stretch, teams that are all upper half of the Pac-12 standings. 3-1 now to Grady Morgan. For Spencer Jones, free base is what you absolutely can't have here. Pitching with a 4-0 lead. 3-1 pitch is low and away for ball 4, the walk. To make it first and second with 1 out.
Shortstop number 12, Ben Newton.
See, now it changes that conversation that you just had a moment ago. All of a sudden you're being a little more careful. Ben Newton, a double his last time up. 2 doubles yesterday. Let's see if he can get Fresno State some life here in the 8th. First pitch up high to him for ball 1. Spencer Jones needing to find the strike zone quickly. Ball hammered down the third base side, foul. Four hits last night for Ben Newton. It was the fourth four-hit game of his career. He once had 6 hits back in 2022 against Nevada. Hits a weak dribbler. Jones is going to cover first. Kramer shoveling it back to him for out number 2. Great communication between Jones and Kramer on who was going to go take that. Jones left it for him, covered first base well. 2 gone. Tommy Hopfe over to third. Grady Morgan up to second. Fresno State needs this from Murph Gray here with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Base hit could trim the deficit in half. Spencer Jones trying to put Washington State in position to win the finale in this series after Fresno State took the first couple games. Low and inside, a ball and a strike. Murph Gray a fly out to center in the 6th. Hit by a pitch in the 4th. He singled in the 2nd on the infield. Hard hit ball right at the Cougar shortstop, Kyle Russell, but it was almost 110 off the bat, and it was way deep in the hole. Late on the swing. 1-2 the count. Spencer Jones doesn't have a strikeout out of the bullpen. Only 2 strikeouts today for these Fresno State hitters. What a time this would be for the Southpaws first. He spikes it out in front of Jacob Morrow, and a nice job to body it up. Keep the runners where they're at. Mentioned how good Morrow has been defensively behind the plate. That's another great example. 2-2. Jones with the pitch. Lifted to right field. Hand covering the sun for a moment for Alan Shibley. And then he's able to make the catch for out number 3. Couple stranded for Fresno State in the 8th. Good work by Spencer Jones after getting into a little bit of a tough spot. 4-0 to the bottom of the 8th. Washington State in front of this one. A new pitcher for Fresno State, bottom of the 8th inning. It is Victor Ariola taking over. 4-1, 27 in the 3rd innings, 2.63 ERA, tremendous numbers. See the strikeouts, 2 walks, really impressive as well. This is his 16th relief appearance. Starts against Jacob Morrow, the Cougar catcher. Cremarosa roughed up for the 3-hit, 3-run 7th. It's gotten Washington State some padding in this ball game. Ariola with the 0-2. Sent high and foul out of play on the first base side. Ariola, 6-foot redshirt sophomore right-hander from San Diego. He'll be back at home next weekend when Fresno State takes on San Diego State. Morrow on the ground, Newton to his left at short, spinning the throw to first. In time for out number 1. Leadoff man gone for the Cougs in the 8th. Eli Kennel up next. 2 strikeouts for Kennel. And a fly out into left field. But came in today 6 of his last 15, now 6 of his last 18 since April the 7th. Takes outside. Now a pitch that came up and got the mask, Justin Stransky. Kind of staggered away, but he's all right. Home plate umpire Bradley Hungerford going to give him a second. Walk a new baseball out to Victor Ariola. He got hopped in, came back up, caught the mask of Stransky. Surprised him a little bit, jumped back up on him. 2-0 pitch. Kendall takes it out wide for ball 3. There's a strike on the outside half from Victor Ariola. Scoring started for the Cougars in the 5th. Solo home run, Joey Kramer, opposite field. 3-run 7th, last inning for the Cougars. Kennel checks his swing. Ball ended up finding a piece of the bat. Count full. Ariola set the pitch. Swing and a miss. 91-mile-an-hour fastball past Eli Kennel. And a strikeout in relief for Victor Ariola. 33rd strikeout of the season for him. Joey Kramer up next after his flyout last inning, but his home run 3 innings back, which started the scoring for WSU. Takes the first pitch over the zone for strike 1. See if WSU tries to finish the afternoon with Spencer Jones. They do have a couple arms warming up out in the bullpen. Strike 2 to Joey Kramer. Spencer Jones has been the only pitcher so far for the Cougars behind Duke Brotherton. Brotherton lined for a win today. Brotherton 4-5 this year with a save. He's been in a ton of decisions for WSU. Kramer with the fly ball into right center field. McKernan studying it up in the gap to make the catch for out number 3, and the Cougars go quietly in the 8th in order. Victor Ariola, good inning of work out of the bullpen for Fresno State. They have to rally in the top of the 9th. Washington State leads this one 4-0 here on Pac-12 Plus. Well, a big thank you to all of the folks who have helped bring Cougar baseball to you this year. Zach Summers, Keegan Duke, Ben Weber, Megan Berry, Adam Harris, Grady Benton. They have been some of our fantastic camera folks here at Bailey Brayton Field. Jared Prengruber, our producer. And we have had a fantastic season bringing it to you on the streaming side of things here, Pac-12 Plus. Rest of the games after Tuesday against Seattle U, the rest of the games are on the Pac-12 network the rest of the way home. First pitch swinging here in the 9th for Bobby Blanford, and over with it is Alan Shibley. A step onto the warning track to make the catch for out number 1. It has been a pleasure this year on Pac-12 Plus to be a part of these Cougar broadcasts. And also Doug Taylor was in for a Seattle U game a little bit earlier this year, and a big thanks to him as well. Pitch outside from Justin Stransky. Catcher for Fresno State. Spencer Jones trying to finish this down the stretch. Looking to work the last 3 2/3 innings. Fires a strike in there. Jones could qualify him for a save down the stretch. It was 1-0 when he came in. Got the Cougs out of a spot with a runner on at second and 1 out. His 1-2 to Stransky. Line middle of the infield, having to wait on it. Crew Park uncorks one to first. Stransky beats it out up the line. Washington State will challenge. For right now, an infield single for Justin Stransky, his second hit of the game. It was bang bang there on the bag at first. Joey Kramer trying to stretch out for it. Umpires will take a look. We'll see what the umpires come out with here. For Stransky, really, what a big last couple of games. This stands as an infield single. It's 5 hits in the last 2 games after an 0 for 17 stretch, and a big lift for the Fresno State catcher. His batting average was fading a little bit, but he's coming right back into his rhythm. Fresno State needs base runners in quickly here in the 9th inning. WSU trying to get out number 2. As the umpires take a look over this play at first base. Well, head shaking no. Don't think that is a sign that anything will change here on this call at first. They've got the runner safe. WSU has 1 challenge remaining. So man on at first with 1 out. Michael McKernan. The 9-hitter for Fresno State here stepping up. McKernan was doubled off in the 4th inning. WSU entering the weekend the top team in the Pac-12 and turning double plays. They'd had over 40 on the season. We got some more in this series, including today, in strike 1 to Michael McKernan. It was a 5-4-3 double play back in the 4th inning. Ground ball at third, but foul. WSU, couple outs away from getting back to 500 at home. Could be 9-9 after this game today. Pitch outside, Morrow looking back down at first. Another one out away from McKernan. 2-2. Fresno State has some belief here. If you can avoid a second out before getting to the top of this order, there's a chance Lightning can strike with these great hitters they have at the top of the lineup. And the count's now full. Jones, after getting ahead 0-2, now a full count. Payoff pitch coming to Michael McKernan. And inside for ball 4. Just what Fresno State needed here from the bottom of the order. A single from Justin Stransky, a walk from Michael McKernan with 1 out. Tying run still on deck. But some life for Fresno State with 1 out in the top of the 9th. Going to the top of the order to Eddie Saldivar. Saldivar 0 for 4 today, all flyouts. First pitch, grounded, high chopper at first. Joey Kramer going to flip to Spencer Jones for the sure out at first base. Out number 2. Justin Stransky to third, Michael McKernan to second. Fresno State down to its final out, and the Cougars importantly keep the tying run in the on-deck circle here with 2 outs. Rocco Pepe coming up, who's 3 for 4 with 12 home runs on the season. Came in today tied for 3rd in the Mountain West in home runs. And he gets a ton of the first pitch to left center field. Back with it goes Swartz. It's gone. Home run number 13 for Rocco Pepe, and that's why it was so important for Washington State to keep the tying run in the on-deck circle, as a baker's dozen in home runs for Pepe makes it a 1-run game now at 4-3. Pepe blasting off 4-15 to left center. And Washington State might make a change. They will with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. It just got a whole heck of a lot more interesting on the Palouse. 4-3 the score after the 3-run home run from Rocco Pepe. We come back right after this timeout on Pac-12 Plus. It's 4-3 now. Fresno State, a 3-run home run from Rocco Pepe here in the top of the 9th inning to get the Bulldogs within a run. And Washington State will bring in right-hander Rylan Hyder, the 6'2 redshirt freshman from Olympia. 12 1/3 innings, 6.57 ERA, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks. And he will come in to face Tommy Hopfe. Hopfe a switch hitter, so he'll bat the left side here. 1 for 4 in this game. Singled last inning, but was left on at third base. And what's now a 1-run game, 4-3. Hyder needing to get 1 out of the bullpen, and he misses on the lower outside corner. Hyder, that lower delivery, that arm slot that kind of comes down, bears in on these left-handed hitters, 1-1. Tommy Hopfe, 6 of 13 in the series. An average of .356. And he takes away for ball 2. Hopfe now represents the tying run after the 3-run home run for Rocco Pepe to left center field. And the count's 3-1. Fresno State fighting back here with 2 outs in the 9th. 3-1 pitch. Hopfe to right field. Sizing it up in right is Alan Shibley to make the catch for out number 3. You wondered the way the wind had blown today, would Fresno State be able to tie it up? It's a long fly ball for the final out, and Washington State hangs on to win it this afternoon, 4-3. A 1-run win for the Cougars. Now 4-8 in those 1-run games this year. They head to Seattle U for a contest on Tuesday before Pac-12 play continues next weekend with Oregon State Friday through Sunday. Well, it's been a pleasure this year on Pac-12 Plus. That's our final broadcast in Pullman this year for our entire crew all season long. This is Trevor Williams saying so long. Washington State a winner today, 4-3 over Fresno State. And you can catch the Cougs in action at home again next weekend against Oregon State. Have a great rest of your weekend, and thanks for being with us.